Alright, so I'm back, and today we're going to take a look at the Xtransbots Masterpiece series, Scourge, or Andras, or Swarm Leader, whatever you want to call him. So first off, we'll take a quick look at the packaging. So here we got some artwork, I guess, of the figure. Which, if you guys have watched a few reviews on this guy, you'll know that his paint chips in certain areas because they fucked up. So I think it's kind of funny that the front of the box has him all scraped up and has paint chips all over him. So I guess it's kind of accurate. So here we got the image. I think it's... here we got another stylized product shot there. We got some thing here of his boat mode. Here we got some product shots of everything that they do and are going to do, I guess. So there's that. Just black. He who fears is already extinct. Okay. There's that. And the bottom of the box has more of the grids. Here we see some Cyclonus going on here. And yeah, there you go. There's the box. Alright, so here comes the boat. And so here he is in his boat mode. I know, he's some sort of futuristic space shuttle type thing. I call it a boat because it kind of looks like a boat. So, I know a lot of people are having issues with their paint along the seam here. I got a couple little nicks, here and here. Same thing on this side. Got a few more. And the reason for that is that it's pretty apparent. If you watch Bobby Skullface's video, he's got it worse than me, where you could see the dust on the figure, and what that is the mold release. And the reason, and the problem with the mold release is, you put the mold release on the on the mold before you pour the plastic in. That helps pull the plastic out of the mold. Makes it a lot easier. Now the problem here is that if you don't clean that mold release off, it stays on the plastic, which means when you paint the plastic, the paint's not going to hold on there. We saw this before with the Cubex Huffer figure, where he was really bad with it. This guy, he's got a few little nicks inside the crease, so it's not terrible, but it's one of those, it could get bad if you don't watch out for it. So here he is in the boat mode. I do feel like this section back here leaves a little bit to be desired. He's got his gun here, which you can plug right in there. You can also plug it in underneath one of the wings. We'll show you that while we're transforming it. And he does come with the little target master. So we'll look at him first. So his head is on a hinge, so he looks side to side. He looks pretty decent. Arm is on a ball joint here, so it gets a good range of motion. And then there is a slight ratchet in the shoulder. No bicep swivel, double bend elbows. Nothing at the hands, nothing at the waist. Due to transformation, you can kind of get an ab crunch, but not really. Hips are on the ball joints, knees are on ball joints. The foot has a little bit of a tilt, and a tiny bit of a rocker. And yeah, there he is. To transform him, you want to pull this out like so, and then extend this barrel out like that. Take the arms and they pull up here, so. Hinge the waist up so you got the handle here. Fold up the feet. And then you want to take these and they just hinge in like this, and then they can tab into each other. Just like that. You take the arms here and they come to the back, and there's a little peg right here that you can plug the hands into. Just like that. And just like that. So there you go. There's his gun mode. I guess it looks okay. I'm not a fan of it, but you can take it and you can plug it in there. It definitely just looks like a robot folded up with a big barrel sticking out the top. Leaves a lot to be desired. He also comes with a display stand. You can take this, plug this in here, like this. Take him, and there's a spring-loaded peg right here that you can take and just plug him in. Like that. And I guess it works. Sure, why not? I mean, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but it is there. So setting that off to the side. You can also extend the wheels out like this, and like this. Wheels do roll independently, and you can take him and roll him if you want to do that. So yeah, you can tell I'm not too enthused because there's one particular part of this figure that is just an absolute nightmare. So folding these up, and I guess I'll show this off real quick. You could take this piece here, fold it out a little bit, and take the head, and you just pull on the head all the way out. Really tight joint, and you can make it look like he did for like half a second in one part of the movie where his head's exposed. Asking if Galvatron wants him to gut Ultra Magnus. You can take this and you can either fold it back like this, slide it down on the joint, and keep it down like that. You know, however you want to do it. Of course, these things, we've seen them, they do not peg in very well, so whoever wins this figure, because this is part of the giveaway, definitely I would recommend gluing those in. I know you can, see, now, they have batteries so that you can make it light up. Quite frankly, I would have preferred if this was just one piece, with this little back piece section. So it didn't fall off, and you didn't have these ugly screws sticking out the side. I mean, because there's a lot of screws sitting there on each part. That one's on the inside, but you get all these screws, and it just kind of breaks up the aesthetic. I don't like it that much. But we'll get into transformation here. So I like to just move this up and leave this up until you get everything into place, because it helps free up a little bit of space. What you want to do, I'll start by untabbing these arms here. Get those out of the way. And then you want to pull these wings out. Now these things are really super tight, and they don't play well at all. So you just kind of have to force it a little bit. And you can see in here, you can see like some of that mold release dust, which is greasy, and that's the problem with the figure. You could take his gun here, and you can plug this in right underneath the wing. There's a little port right back there, a little peg right here. Take that and just plug that in to the wing like so, and that'll keep it stored if you want to use the target master, which, you know, whatever, it's the target master. Alright, so we're moving the wings out of the way. Just get those out, unhinge these, this will come out, unpeg the feet, rotate the legs forward. Alright, then you want to take this section here. This will just you take this and it just folds down and it's out of the way. So take this, just fold it down, out of the way. You can then fold the head forward, rotate the whole assembly around. There's lots of clearance issues in this thing. Some aren't too bad, like this isn't too bad, but it can get there. Alright, and then you take this piece here, this folds up, rotate this around like this. This will fold down, and then these pieces will fold forward like this, making a collar. Alright. So leaving the head up just for another moment here, and we can take this assembly here, and it folds. This piece here will fold out and up, and then you can take the whole assembly here and slide it up like this. So again, it was come on. It was down like this, and you slide it just straight up like that. Then you take this piece, and it's supposed to rotate around, and as you can see, because of these wings and these wings, it's all kind of getting caught up on itself. So try and get it all out of the way the best you can, and then you rotate this around, and you can fold out the wings, and then fold these back down, so you can fold this up, and this will kind of fold these here out, and this will kind of just sit up there like that. Okay, and that's fine, that's great, that's dandy. You know, it does its job. Whatever. Me, if this were my figure and I was going to pick on how to display it, I would just rotate this around like this, how it was originally, fold these in like this, and then just fold this straight up. Because then you could take these assemblies and just kind of fold them out, and I think that looks just fine. Yeah, it gives them a little bit of extra back kibble, but it's not that big of a deal for me. Or you can fold them up like this, and that looks fine too, and you don't have to sit there worried about rotating that piece and rubbing the plastic, the painted plastic that chips easy across other painted plastic that chips easy. That's what I do. Alright, now let's do the head real quick. So you just push it straight down like that, and now it's into place. That works just fine. Now comes the shitstorm. I've watched videos on how to do this. I've read the instructions on how to do this. I can't figure this thing out easily for the life of me. So take this wheel, we'll move it out of the way, and then you want to move the foot about halfway and you move this piece about halfway and try and push this foot assembly through this tiny little slot in the front, which doesn't angle right, and it's really freaking stupid that they designed it that way. I mean, honestly, this has got to be the worst foot transformation I have ever seen in my entire life. This is an absolute nightmare. Trying to get this foot to go through this slot that's not big enough for it. And going back is just as much fun. It's just this, they don't know how to make a toy at all. And all right, come on, are you gonna go through? Are you gonna go through? Are you gonna go through? No, you're not going through. Stupid son of a bitch. I mean, seriously, this thing is such a piece of shit with this foot transformation. I mean, oh my god. I hate this thing. I hate this thing. I hate this thing. I hate this thing. I know I'm sounding like a little whiny bitch, but seriously, this is fucking ridiculous. I spent 45 minutes practicing this figure, and I got everything worked out except for the foot, and I cannot get it. I cannot get it easily. It's just so stupid. I mean, this alone makes me not want this figure at all. I mean, I have such a hard time with this, and it's because these things are in such tight ratchets in such a small spot. You got die cast here and here for no reason whatsoever. None of the rest of the figure has die cast except for the toes, and it's like, which makes, you know, moving certain spots of it a little bit more difficult than others. Trying to get it through this tight spot while trying to get your fingers in there. They don't know how to smooth out plastic, so you're sitting there constantly scraping your finger up against the plastic. I mean, this has got to be the worst leg transformation I have ever seen in my entire life. I mean, I cannot stand this thing. I'm, you know, I try to give a fair review as best I can, but this really, really, really sucks. I mean, you guys have no idea until you actually try and finagle this foot. Okay, see how big this foot is? Through this hole on these tight ratchets with thin plastic in there, mind you. So you got to be careful not to snap things, because they couldn't make a seam going across right here and just have it hinge out and then rotate back, click together, and then click in. That's all they would have had to do. A seam right here with an extra hinge. That's it. Hell, it doesn't even have to hinge all the way out here. It could hinge like right across here. So seam here with a hinge here. Just open it up, fold the foot forward, close it up, rotate back. That's it. How hard would that have fucking been? I mean, seriously, this is just horrible. Absolutely horrible. You can see, so that foot doesn't fit through there. So you have to go in here and try and reconfigure the foot to however you can get it so that it fits through that tiny little hole. And this is why I'm not doing this transformation both ways, is because I just would kill someone. Absolutely. This Xtransbots, you guys suck. Absolutely suck. And I can't even show you what I'm doing here. But I think I've almost got this foot out. And you see, like, I'm starting to bleed from the plastic. The sharpness of this plastic, trying to get this thing through this tiny little hole. So I got part of the foot out. Let's see if I can get the rest of it. Oh my god. And you gotta be careful of this wheel, because see, if you got it lined up there, it's gonna get caught up on this piece of plastic. So you gotta rotate the wheel in like that, and then rotate this piece here in like that, and then try and get the foot the rest of the way out. And we did it. We got one foot out, and then tab this in. There you go. Alright. So that was a fucking bitch. Alright, so there's one foot. Now let's go back to this one, see if I can get this back. So what I did, I rotated this all the way back. This came... And everything's on ratchets on the feet. Like the heel spur's on a ratchet. This little piece isn't. And then this is... No... But the whole assembly's on a ratchet. So I folded this all the way up like that. And you see that nice stress mark? That's how it came. That's how it came. Let's see if that works this time. I hate this thing. Oh my god, I hate this thing so much. This has become like... Just because of this transformation, this has become one of my least favorite figures of the year. I would buy Combine Wars Devastator before I'd buy this thing, to be completely honest. I'm sorry for everybody that entered the raffle and the second raffle. You know, if you guys get this thing for cheap, great. By winning it through the raffle, that's awesome. But I cannot recommend buying this thing. This is just a nightmare. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Fold that wheel in, fold this little bit in. Let's see if we can... Oh my god. There we go. I mean, seriously, that... I just spent, what, 15 minutes? 10 minutes? Something like that on the feet. The rest of the figure is just a shell forward, but these feet are just a nightmare. Like I said, watch Skullface's review. I think he shows off how to do it a little bit better than I did. I watched it. I couldn't figure it out. I watched Piog's review of it. I couldn't figure it out. I read the instructions. I couldn't figure it out. I'm worried because it's Xtransbot, and anytime you transform something of Xtransbots, you lose some of its plastic integrity. So just I don't know. For the feet transformation, please just watch somebody else's review. I know I'm not the best reviewer out there, and no, this thing just sucks. I hate this thing because of that. Alright, seriously, all they would have had to do is put a little seam and a hinge. Alright, so now let's you flip this piece down, rotate out the stupid hands because they are all individually articulated. And you can see just right off the bat, stress mark right there on the thumb. The fingers look, I mean, they're stupid looking because they're individually articulated. I'm not a fan of that. Rotate this out. Just like that. And guess what? Guess what, guys? Stress mark. Right there. So both the hands have stress marks on them already, right off the bat. Because they use these tiny little itty bitty pegs. Little itty bitty ball joints. For this nightmare of a figure. Seriously, this thing just... yeah. Alright, so, and then we gotta plug these back in because there's no way to transform them with these in. So plug that in. Plug that in. Where'd the other one go? And plug that one in. Alright. Let's talk about posability. His head hinges up and down about yay far. Not very awesome. Swivels side to side. It's on a very tight swivel joint. So yeah, it gets caught up on the collar a little bit. But at least mine came with a beard. I know Skullface's didn't. Ratcheted shoulders, which are nice. Those work really well. Hinge out. Swivel at the bicep. Double bend elbow. Something about these arms don't sit well with me. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the tiny elbow joint. But something about this just doesn't quite feel right to me. I can't pinpoint it, to be perfectly honest. Arm double bend elbows, hands swivel. You got a ball joint. Look at this tiny little ball joint. Ball joint there for the thumb, with a hinge, and a hinge at the tip, at the fingertips. Each one of these are on ball joints, and then hinge, hinge, hinge. So you got full range of motion on the fingers, but like, I don't know. I don't like these full articulated fingers. I never have. I think they just look goofy. And yeah, I just don't like them. I think the like Optimus with the one hinge with the finger that can articulate on its own, I think that's more than fine. All right, so you got these little skirts here that move up out of the way. You got a waist swivel that gets you from here to here. So at this point, it's like, why bother putting it in if you can't utilize it all the way? Legs, nice squeak ratchet up and down. Swivels out to here. Oh, that's awesome. Little paint chimp going there, just from rotating the leg. There's a swivel. Bends at the knee that far. I'm scared to bend this thing as far as it can go because I don't want more paint chips on this thing. Foot swivel or hinges in and out, and then the toe. I'm not gonna fuck with the feet anymore. I'm done with the feet. I am done with the fucking feet. I still have to transform this thing back in this shuttle mode to get it so I can give it away. So you can plug the gun in here into his hand. That works just fine. He holds it really well. He doesn't need his fingers at all, which is fine because those fingers will probably break off. You can take this gun here, and what you got to do is move the robot hands out of the way, and then plug this in. And then you can take the hands and plug them back up. And I hate that thing too. So yeah, that doesn't work as well. As you guys could tell, I'm pretty much done with this thing because of those feet. Anyway. You pull this hinge out here. You got nice floppy bits in there. But apparently you can shove the matrix in there to recreate that one episode where he did that. That's a nice feature, but those hinges are really super loose. So flip that back in, just like that, and then this rotates down, and you get this thing here, which, completely honest, I don't remember what that's from. Maybe it's a transforming cog or something. I can't remember what that's from. I'm sorry. So there you go. Enjoy. All right, size comparison. Here he is with the Masterpiece Sideswipe, and I think that looks just about right. Some people say he's too big, but I think he's just about the right scale. I think they actually got this right on this guy. Here he is with the MP10. And you can see they're just about the same height. Which I'm okay with, because Scourge was one of the commanders for Galvatron's army. And just to show him off, with a few other figures. Here he's with Masterpiece Soundwave. And see, that's where I think he should be, is about Soundwave size, because he was a commander. And Soundwave is about the same size as him. He's got a little bit extra height because of the big gun on the top of his head. But that's where I think he should be, because he was a commander, like I said. Here he is with an MP Seeker. And you see he is just a hair taller than the MP Seeker. So I'm okay with this, because he was kind of like an upgraded Seeker. And just because, so I could show off a good third-party figure. Here he is with Shockwave, or Quakewave, who is taller than him. So, yeah, there you go. Alright, so my overall rating of this figure. So first off, Xtransbots, if you're listening, clean your damn figures before you paint them, because otherwise it's just going to chip off, and people are going to get pissed off. I'm pretty pissed off, and this isn't my figure. I'm actually more pissed off because this isn't my figure. Check your clearances. The clearances on the wings are pretty atrocious. The clearances on the feet are unforgivable. Those are absolute garbage. All you would have had to do is put one extra hinge down there, and you would have been able to rotate those feet without any issue whatsoever. I cannot stress how important things like that are, because as a collector, I do not want to spend 20 minutes shoving a foot through an ankle. I do not want to do that. I have better things to do with my time than to spend it all on that. I mean, seriously, I don't have any other Masterpiece figures where I have that much of an issue shoving the feet through. I can't express how irritated I am with that stuff. I think you guys get a pretty good idea, though. It is absolutely one of the worst designs I've ever seen. And for the rest of the figure to be so simple overall. Clearance issues, yes. Simple. For the rest of it, yes, for the most part. I mean, so think things through. Think. Anyway. The hands, I hate them. I know that they're Xtransbots and KFC's little niche that they like to do, and that's fine. If you guys want to keep it up, keep going with it, but I don't like it. I will never like it. I'm not going to knock this figure because of it, just because that's their design aesthetics. So for a score, I'm going to give this guy I'm score just like I did Apollyon, 5 out of 10. The robot mode looks awesome. This thing looks great. Getting it to robot mode is horrible. If you guys do a second release, make sure you clean that plastic off real nice and neat. Because this guy looks good. I like the way he looks. His alt mode looks good. He's actually transformable, which isn't like Apollyon, but I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it at all, because you're going to damage things. It's best to get him in the mode you want him in, put him on the shelf, and leave him there. Those are the positives. He looks good. He feels good. The plastic feels great on this thing. The plastic on this guy feels in par. Maybe not quite so much the wings, but the legs, the thighs, the chest, the arms. I have to admit, maybe not the hands, but the rest of it feels MP. It feels like they know what they're doing with this, with the plastic. They just need to figure out their tolerances, their swivels, their clearance issues. I don't think it needed die-cast in the feet at all. I think it needed that hinge. I would have rather seen that money for the die-cast go into a hinge on these big pieces here, so that you can hinge it out and fold that foot down. That's my vote right there. Other than that, the figure looks good. I don't recommend him if you plan on playing with him. If you plan on transforming him and putting him in different modes, I can't recommend him. If you're going to put him on the shelf and never transform him, you could pose him a little bit, but you never transform him, then I will say get him. And only for that. DX9 is, they just did Carry, which is their Rodimus Prime. They're doing a Galvatron, so I'd anticipate them doing Cyclonus and Scourge soon. That's my bet. I bet they would do that, and right now they're one of my favorite companies. Fans Toys, yes, it's about a year away. They're doing a Galvatron, and they also teased a Scourge and Cyclonus. So there's another good option coming there. And who knows, maybe Make Toys will do it, and then I'll be extremely happy. As for this guy, if you need a Scourge now and you want him on your shelf and you don't mind not ever transforming him again, I really wish he came in robot mode. Instead, he comes in vehicle mode, so you're going to have to try it. Only get him if you plan on never transforming him. Now, let's get into the giveaway. So somebody's going to get this figure for pretty cheap. Which is nice, because I don't think he's worth $160. Even if the feet weren't an issue, he's not worth $160. Alright, so we got Eddie R. He bought 3 tickets. Get our little bucket out here. Sammy T bought 4 tickets. Now, this is the first giveaway. Remember that. There's actually a second one going on for the same figure. We're 8 tickets away from it. So if you don't get your name called here, check my Facebook page, which I'll post a link below. And that will tell. And there's a picture of him in his boat mode, and it tells you who bought all the tickets for the second giveaway. So if your name wasn't called here, check that list. It'll be on that one probably. And if it's not, let me know and I'll make it right. But we're 8 tickets away from getting the second one to give away that will not be transformed. So if you guys don't win, feel free to, hit me up and see if you want to buy another ticket or something. Kev Gag got 2 tickets. Todd M got 3 tickets. 1, 2, 3. Devin S got 1 ticket. Arvin A got 4 tickets. JC got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tickets. Matt W got 4 tickets. Randy B got 2 tickets. Saji A got 2 tickets. TA got 1 ticket. Kevin H got 2 tickets. Ashton G got 1 ticket. David A got 2 tickets. And Chris B got the last 2 tickets. Again, there's another giveaway going on with the same figure. So if you missed out on this one, there's still an option. So check this up. Alright, and the winner of the Xtransbots Scourge giveaway number 1 is Kevin H. Kevin H, you won Scourge. So get a hold of me as quickly as you can, and I will try and get this in the mail either today or tomorrow. So Kevin H, you won. Congratulations. I have to put them back into boat mode to get them back into the packaging. And then when you get a transform into robot mode, and I recommend not touching it ever again. But Kevin H, congratulations, you won. And then again, there is the second giveaway going on right now for this guy. Just hit me up if you guys are still interested in tickets. There's 8 tickets left for the second one. So I mean, we hit this goal real quick, and I decided to do the second one again, or do it again, and we're really close on ordering a second Scourge. So yeah, let me know as soon as you know, or as soon as you get this, so that we can get this ordered and get them out to you. All right.